Good morning, and sending you all loads and loads of love. This is a very difficult time for everyone, and I was watching the news yesterday and watching some of the it was a chat show about how Irish people are getting on with this situation right now, and I know some of you will be feeling it as well. So I wanted to tell you that if you'd like to tell us how you're getting on, what your challenges are here in the group, we would love to hear from you. And we're in this together. One of my cousins is in the US, and she put up basically a rant about how the US is handling the situation. And my heart just goes out to her, and it goes out to everybody. Thankfully, here in County Wexford, we've had the least amount of cases in Ireland. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm really grateful to everybody who's working so hard in this situation as well. Some of my students and people who are in this group suddenly have their work situations changing. Health workers are being called away from their annual leave in order to get back to the workplace. So I know it's affecting everybody. It's affecting you in different ways. And today we're just going to talk about how we can use singing for our sanity, okay? So we talked a little bit yesterday about some of the psychological ways of looking at singing and music. And today I'm going to talk a little bit more about the psychological benefits of singing. The two things that were in my brain this morning when I woke up, the main really massive benefits that I've gotten from pursuing my singing and getting back to it and giving it up and starting it again. The first thing is self-acceptance. So when we start singing, and none of us really like the sounds of our own voices, and I always wanted to sound different than I actually sounded, and it's taken me on a long journey of discovering how to improve my singing. But the thing was, I really love singing, and it brings me into a deeper sense of myself, and I feel kind of, I don't know, it's like my inner child. It's really part of the vulnerable kind of hidden side of me, the emotional side of me, because I tend to be one of those people, I turn the good side out, and I'm a doer. I like to keep going and not really stop and reflect, or sometimes I can keep going and then realize later, oh God, I was actually really stressed at that time, and I don't acknowledge it. And self-acceptance in music is very important. I studied jazz music for many years, and in jazz music we do this thing called improvising. Oh my God. It is hard, and it can sound really bad before it gets better. It takes a huge amount of practice and a good ear and a good rapport within a group as well. And so when I was studying jazz music and I was doing improvisation, I really had to get used to this idea of doing it wrong before I started to do it right. So kind of that, feeling of failing and, not being good enough yet. Yeah. But accepting yourself. So this feeling of self-acceptance, it really came to a fore when I was studying jazz music and improvisation. And I noticed that the jazz musicians in the groups that I was working with, they had a higher tolerance for getting it wrong. And they kind of accepted that was part of the journey to becoming better at improvising in jazz music. And it taught me something. And I didn't actually fully accept it until years later. I actually gave up singing entirely for 3 years after studying jazz music. I studied jazz music full time for 2 years. I did the first 2 years of a BA in jazz performance, and I gave it up. I gave it up mainly because I couldn't figure out how to make a living from singing. I was doing gigs and I wasn't doing very well with my gigs. So self-acceptance. Okay, guys, we all have voices and they don't always sound good. Okay. The next step from self-acceptance is self-compassion. And I've gotten to the point, thankfully now, where if things go wrong, I give myself a little hug. Yeah. It's like, okay, it's okay. And I've actually gotten to a point, thankfully, in my life where I actually want to know when I'm wrong. And for a long time, if things weren't going well, I didn't want to take responsibility for that. Now I can take responsibility for it because I've got self-compassion. And I can say to myself, okay, I didn't really mean for that to happen. How do I fix this? Lovingly, in a nice way. So this is what I woke up with when I was thinking about the benefits of singing. For me, a feeling of self-acceptance and self-compassion is very, very, very powerful psychologically. If you can stop beating yourself up. And a lot of us are suffering so much right now. And there's so much worry and so much anxiety, and you are wishing you were back at work because money isn't coming in, whatever it is. Just please don't beat yourself up. This is a situation that we all have to cope with somehow, and we're going to pull together. And if you really need help and you need some guidance, you can ask me. I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to help anybody, but I'd certainly want to help. And there's so many people who want to help. So be kind to each other and yourself right now. But anyway, moving on. Psychological benefits of singing also include just a decrease in cortisol. So this stress hormone that's coming up right now, we can all feel it. It creates a cascade of stress hormones in the body. They're produced in your adrenal glands. They're two little glands that sit above your kidneys. And your adrenal glands help you to cope with stress, but they also get overworked when we're under stress for a longer period of time. Like for instance, 3 or 4 weeks of stress can wear them down, or a single very, very, a stressful situation can do it also. But singing can decrease your cortisol. So yay! Start singing. How many people were singing this morning? Anybody? I just did my warm up. I have to do it before I start doing these lives, otherwise I'll be croaking my way through it. So if you've been singing already this morning, I applaud you. It's good to be able to sing early, but we have the rest of today, and I would encourage all of you to sing something today. Sing along with something, put on something that you haven't listened to in a while, take out that old record, Joni Mitchell, whoever it is, and start doing something with your voice today, because it will help you with this stress that we have going on right now. Now, one of the things that I find very fascinating about how singing affects us is how we change our posture in order to sing. And this is a very powerful step for students that are learning to sing. Sometimes we don't realize how much our posture affects how our sound is, because our neck is very much affected by how we sit or stand. So you can kind of sit a little bit more too slouched, or you can have your shoulders quite tense, and that's really affecting your neck, which is where all of the organs, the vocal folds, the different bones that actually work and change and shift position when we sing, that's where they're all located. So just posture can be very important for singing. And there's a fascinating TED talk by Amy Cuddy, who talks about how changing your posture can change how you feel. And this is one of the reasons why cortisol can be reduced by singing, because her research showed that changing your posture decreases your cortisol. So it decreases the stress hormone. And in her talk, which I have posted already just now in the group, I encourage you all to take a look at it. It's very, very interesting. She talks about, power posing like a Wonder Woman, or ta-da, like a, real powerful, strong, positive posture. And it does work, and she recommends that you do it for about 2 minutes. So a song is usually maybe 2 to 3 minutes, maybe longer. If you put on a really great song and you just stand there with your arms over your head, even if you're feeling internally that defeated feeling that I think a lot of us are feeling right now, that can help you to overcome it. And the main purpose of that right now is just to make you more effective and productive and handle things better today. just today, like just handle things well today, be able to cope with other people's stress around you better today. So you can take control of that by controlling your posture through song, through listening to music and standing in a power pose. Okay, so I thought that was something very worthwhile sharing with you. Now, there's also research to show that singing increases your endorphins. That's your happy hormones. Yeah, happy. Is it okay to be happy right now? Are we allowed to be happy right now? It's a tricky one, isn't it? I think we have to try and find some peace. We definitely have to try to find some peace in our hearts right now. And if you feel happy for some reason, don't beat yourself up over it, because we can't everyone in the world feel bad. You feeling bad is not going to help someone else who's suffering. You feeling like shit today isn't really going to help anyone. Being strong today might help someone. It might help someone in your family that you can, say the right thing to, or a friend, or you might post the right thing on Facebook. You might just keep your own mental health positive for today. And that is very important. So breathing is a really good way to improve your feeling well, because when I start to teach people about breathing, it's often about releasing anxiety, because we hold anxiety in our tummies a lot of the time, which changes our breathing. So if you pull your tummy in, so some of you have done this before, as we have done, just need a little tissue. So we've done this before in some of the other lessons last week, but what I'm going to get you to do is pull your tummies in, everybody, right? I can see lots of you watching. So Mary and Caroline, thank you for being here. Pull, 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 right? Now try to breathe in. Can't do it, right? Now, when we're tense and stressed, that's we get this tension in our stomachs, and it stops us being able to breathe. And that creates this kind of a cycle of feeling bad. It's like you get that biofeedback. Biofeedback just means that you feel something physically and your brain interprets it. Okay? So if you feel tension, if you kind of have a consistent tension in your tummy, which some of us may do right now, that's telling your body that you're stressed and that there's a reason for being stressed, and we should stay stressed. There's something that we should be afraid of. There's a danger. Yeah? Now, a lot of us aren't in immediate danger. We're staying safe, right? We're staying safe at home. So let's relax the tummies. So we're going to do that by sighing. Okay, I might need to do it 2 or 3 times. Everyone else try it as well. 1, 2, 3. And one more. And one for luck. Let's try it one last time. Good. It's really good. It's okay to relax right now. You are safe. Most of us are indoors. We're safe. And, when we start singing, if you're nervous about your voice or you're nervous about singing in front of an audience, we don't feel safe. No, we feel worried that we're going to sing it badly or that somebody might judge us. So the psychology of singing and this physical feelings that we have when we are nervous and when we sing, we can switch off the nerves by switching on our awareness of how we feel physically. Okay, so they talk about it like body mapping. But really, we're actually asking our bodies what's really going on right now and accepting that. But then also saying, right, what can I do about it? So if you're feeling tense the last few days, try taking this sigh and see, can that really just switch you into, I can cope. Yeah? Just very gentle, I'm dealing with this. It's okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to come out at the other end. And, there's going to be, obviously, the fallout from this is massive. But we need to stay strong. And being in that sense of stress and fear isn't going to make you strong. Okay? So it's okay to release it. Please release it. Please let your body relax. Don't stay in that constant state of stress. We talked about how singing decreases cortisol, and if you're in constant state of stress, your cortisol levels are going to be very high. And it's not just bad for your mental health, it's actually bad for your physical health. It can wear you down. Your muscle tissue can even wear down. So we're talking about the positives now, singing. I'm going to get you to try this hissing exercise. So this is another breathing one. We're going to hiss like this. Remember Sneaky Snake? Anybody remember that from Wonderly Wagon? Any of you Irish people watching? So we're going to go and then we're going to relax our tummies. So the exercise is really about relaxing, okay? The hissing is just what we do to use up the air, and then we relax. So the tummy needs to relax. So put your hand on your tummy, little sigh. Okay, now you know what it feels like when it's relaxed. Okay, we're going to hiss 7 times. Ready? And now relax. Now, if you need to sigh to relax, do. So, but that means you're breathing in and out again. But what ideally you're going to do is you're just going to hiss and then relax. Okay, let's try one more time. Relax. So breathe out any extra air that's in your tummy. Ready again? Relax. So it's 7 hisses. I'll count them here. I'll clap them for you. Good. Relax. 5 more. Relax. Good. Relax. Release that tummy. Good. Relax. 2 more. Relax. Good. Relax. Hope you're feeling good now. Okay, let's keep that up. Now, some other things about singing that I want to just mention briefly. It is amazing for your self-esteem. When you achieve singing, even in a group, especially in a group, right? I teach a lot of people how to sing on their own. That's my favorite thing, because just because I love the idea that everybody has a song and that everybody has a message, unique message, and everybody can at least have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 really good songs that they can share, and that there's always an audience. There's an audience for everyone, and there's a listener for everyone. So your self-esteem does come up when we sing, okay, when we learn something. So for instance, I'm learning Happy Feet by Kermit the Frog at the moment. So some of you might have noticed on my Facebook page, I've posted up a challenge to myself and to anyone else who wants to do it, to learn Happy Feet this week and put up a video of myself singing it and perhaps doing some dance moves, because it is Happy Feet and Kermit does tap dance in it. In case you didn't know, Kermit the Frog, yes, has feet and can dance. So this is like a little challenge to myself. Now, even if I don't do an amazing job at it, I know that it's going to make me feel better and have better self-esteem if I complete it. Okay, so it's about taking on a little small challenge and just doing it. Like, so this morning I was learning the first 3 lines of the words. Happy feet, I've got those happy feet, give me a low down beat, and they begin dancing. See, it's already making me happy. So I only know really those few lines at the moment. But I'm going to learn it over a few days, and I will be putting up a video, so you can watch out for it. And maybe just watching it will make you happy. But if you'd like to join in and learn something new, please learn Happy Feet, or you can pick one of your own if you want. But, you know, take it from not really knowing it to knowing it fairly well, and well enough to be able to share it. Okay, so that can take, for a performance in front of an audience of listeners, I would take about 3 weeks to learn a song minimum. But for this, it's just a bit of fun. So if any of you there watching live or in the replay, if you want your self-esteem to come up and to do something silly and fun this week, I challenge you to learn Happy Feet. And it's on my Facebook page, and I'll post it in here in the group as well. So self-esteem can come up, and you know, it's good for your lungs as well. So very, very good. And it's good for bonding, singing. And especially because we're all in this group together. Yeah. So have a bit of fun this week, right? Maybe post up an old video of you singing, put up something new, share your love of singing. Maybe put up, what your favorite song is, or what your biggest challenge is at the moment, or your biggest challenge with singing. Start interacting a little bit in the group, and it's okay. Self-acceptance, none of us are perfect. Nobody. I mean, years and years and years of singing, and I'll still get it wrong, and I'll still go off pitch. And my husband Mike is the first to tell me, because he works as a music producer, and he goes through my song and goes, correct. Everywhere where I went a little bit flat. It's just devastating for me, But in these days of recording, that's what they do. They make everybody sound better, even the people who can already sing. So that's it for today. My top 2 tips for good mental health and the benefits of singing are: accept your voice the way you are, have compassion for yourself, and do it. Stand up nice and tall as you do it, and feel good. Allow yourself to feel good. Give yourself a chance to get away from the kind of the dark side that we have going on at the moment. You being well and you being strong is going to be much more beneficial in the long term for everybody, and I'm sure you all agree with that. So thanks everybody for watching. I can see quite a few there. I really appreciate you coming online with me live, and to join in for the replay as well. And it's great to have this this place for me to share what I love, and I'm really appreciating all of your comments and your feedback to me about it. So thank you all very, very much. Stay safe today. Have a bit of fun today, and we'll talk tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bye.